Parents are allowed to go with the children. And I'm going to start this story, and then halfway through there's going to be a chance for anyone to come up who might get more interested in it. So there's lots of time to decide to come. Grandparents can come up too, yes. So I want to tell you a story tonight, a story that a lot of people know, but probably haven't seen it told quite like this. And this cloth that I've laid out, this cloth gets laid out here just about every Sunday. It's the cloth that tells us that we're in the land where Jesus was born and lived and told people about God. It's a place called the Holy Land. And as soon as we see this cloth, we know that we are there. And this story starts in a little town called Nazareth. And Nazareth was a tiny little town. The people that lived there were very poor, and life was very, very hard. And there was one young girl there, and her name was Mary. And Mary, in another story, had been visited by an angel who told her that she was going to have a baby that would be a special child of God. Now, Mary thought that was pretty strange because she was very young and she wasn't sure that she was special enough to carry a special child, but it happened. And the man she was engaged to is a man named Joseph. And so Mary and Joseph are getting ready because Mary's going to have her baby very soon. Very soon. But something happens. The government, the people in charge, like a king, said, you have to go to the town you were born in and be counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that they knew how many people lived there. It was called a census. And the problem was Joseph lived 80 miles away. That's 120 kilometers. 120 kilometers, a long way away, in a little town called Bethlehem. That's where he was born, was in Bethlehem. It was another little town. The people there were also very poor. But they had to go. And the only way they could get there was to walk. So Mary, about to have a baby, had to walk 80 miles, 120 kilometers, all the way to Bethlehem. Well, when they got there, all these other people had come from all over the place for the same reason. So all the motels were filled. There was nowhere for them to stay. And they looked and looked and couldn't find any place. And finally they found a stable, which is like a little barn. They found a stable where there would normally be cows and sheep and goats and chickens. And that's the only place they could find. And so they went into the stable. And once they got to the stable, Mary had her baby in the barn. She had her baby. And the baby was born. And so she took some cloth and she wrapped it around the baby to keep him warm. And then she thought, where am I going to put him to sleep? And in the stable there was a manger, and a manger was filled with hay, and that's what the cows and the sheep ate out of. It was like their supper dish. And so they laid the baby in the manger. Are there any others that want to come up for the rest of this story? You're welcome to. Do you was away in a manger. Well, while all that was happening in Bethlehem, outside of Bethlehem, on a hill, there were some shepherds. And shepherds were young people, mostly, and their job was to look after the sheep, the flocks of sheep. And the reason that they were out there, this was nighttime, and the reason that all these shepherds were out there was because it was very dangerous for the sheep to be out there at night, because there were wolves and other things that would try to catch them to eat them for dinner. So the shepherds had to stay awake all night to look after their sheep. Well, we need some sheep. Here's one. And here's another one. And so, it was a pretty ordinary night. They were just there looking after their sheep as they're supposed to, when all of a sudden, it got really quiet. And then, whoosh, 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 this strange creature came flying over and landed right in front of the shepherds. Well, the shepherds took one look at this strange creature and they hid under their sheep. They were so afraid. But this was an angel. It was the same angel that had come to Mary many, many months before. And the angel said, "Don't be afraid. You can come out from under your sheep. Don't be afraid. It's okay. I just have something that I need to tell you." And so very sheepishly, they came out to hear what the angel had to say. And the angel said, "Don't be afraid. I am bringing you great news. I am bringing you news about a baby that was born. A baby that was born in Bethlehem, a little town not far from where you are, who is a special child of God." Well, the shepherds were amazed, and they said, "Well, how do we find this child? Like, Bethlehem's small, but there's lots of people there. How would we know who the special child was?" And the angel said, "You'll find the child, this little baby, wrapped in a band of cloth, lying in a manger." And suddenly, the whole sky was filled with angels. And they were singing, "Gloria, Gloria, Gloria, Hallelujah, Hallelujah." And just as quick as they had come, they disappeared. And the shepherds were left on the hill wondering, were we dreaming that? Or did it really happen? And they decided they better go to Bethlehem and find out. And so off they went into Bethlehem, and sure enough, after a little bit of looking, they found what the angels had said. They found this baby wrapped in some bands of cloth, laying in a manger. And so the shepherds said to Mary, they told Mary and Joseph all that had happened to them with the angels coming, and Mary said, "Well, that angel visited me too. Isn't that strange?" And Mary knew that this was indeed a special child of God. And so the shepherds returned to the hillside to look after their sheep. And they were glorifying and praising God. And the whole cosmos, the whole universe began to sing. Gloria, Gloria, in excelsis Deo. Gloria, Gloria, Alleluia, Alleluia. Well, that's our story. I'm going to invite you to, I know some of you were at the tables at the back, and there's some things for you to do for a bit of time if you'd like at those tables. You're all welcome to go back there. There's lots of things to do, because I'm going to talk to the adults for a few minutes. Okay? Thank you for sharing this story.